How do you think China is reacting to all of this? It's furious. It is using every medium at its disposal to express its anger, from the state media to social media. Let me begin with a tweet. It is from the Consul General of China to Karachi. It says, and I'm quoting, "Do you know what will be the aftermath of playing with fire?" That statement is in response to an article that called on the Indian government to embrace the Quad. A Chinese diplomat sitting in Karachi is threatening India against joining the Quad. Sitting in Karachi, he seems to have forgotten that India is not Pakistan, not bound to do China's bidding. And clearly, the prospect of an Asian NATO, the Quad, has rattled China. Major dailies of the Communist Party have raised this. And the not-so-major ones, like the Global Times, have a lot to say about India, America and the anti-China alliance. Now, the fact is, very few people take the saber-rattling of the Global Times seriously because it ranks quite low in the communist hierarchy. The same cannot be said, though, for China Daily. This paper, China Daily, is owned by the publicity department of the Communist Party. Let me tell you what it says about India aligning with America, and I'm quoting, "Border skirmishes with China may prompt India to draw closer to the US side so as to gain more leverage in its negotiations with China. But blindly following the US's lead will only push it closer to a head-on conflict with China, which would not be in its interests." Now, the Chinese military later republished this piece. Like I said, Beijing is leveraging every medium for this propaganda. The wire service of the Chinese state, Xinhua, has also weighed in on the matter. Their piece is about the upcoming Malabar exercise and India's invitation to Australia. Xinhua says, and I'm quoting, "Quad members need to realize that attempting to stir up rivalry in the region goes against the trend of the times and will definitely not be accepted by major countries worldwide." The Chinese press is living in a bubble of their own. Here is what we found today. A Reuters report. It talks about the alliances that are taking shape in Asia. It says that several Asian countries are building an alliance among themselves informally, and they're doing it on their own. Now, China claims that America and its so-called Cold War mentality is the driving force behind these anti-China alliances in Asia. But Reuters reports that Asian countries are joining hands without American support. Now, the piece goes on to talk about how the Australian Prime Minister inaugurated the Shangri-La Dialogue, an intergovernmental security forum that is attended by defense ministers, heads of ministries and military chiefs of more than 20 Asia-Pacific states. This was not America's doing. Mike Pompeo's Asia tour has made Beijing nervous. After India, the US Secretary of State is visiting Sri Lanka. He will then go to the Maldives and the Indian Ocean. A visit that would highlight how China bullies smaller countries with its debt traps. So even before Pompeo kicks off his Asia trip, China has accused America of meddling in Sri Lanka. Listen to this.
The US officials' remarks are brimming with Cold War mentality and hegemony, which fully expose their usual practice of interfering in other countries' internal affairs by bullying small and medium-sized countries into picking sides. China believes that all countries, big or small, have the right to independently develop their foreign relations based on their own interests. Any attempts to use pressure and coercion to obstruct normal cooperation and exchanges between countries will not succeed. In the end, they will become the scorn of history, the laughingstock of the international community.
So what prompted this statement? An official of the US State Department had said that Sri Lanka must, quote-unquote, make tough choices to ensure its economic independence over the long term. In Colombo, Pompeo is expected to make an appeal to the Rajapaksas for greater engagement with America and its allies. And a shift like this will only give the anti-China alliance more power because Sri Lanka is crucial for China's design in this region. It's a threat that Beijing would want to avoid at all costs. Thank you for watching Gravitas on WION's YouTube channel. If you want to stay up to date with what's happening around the world, then subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share. Thank you very much for watching WION. World is One.